Okay, for this last video, I'm going to be talking about the last step, checking the quiz in the LMS. Okay, um, checking the quiz in the LMS is not very efficient, right? Because you have to do it one question at a time. Okay, um, and so it's a good idea to make sure that the questions that you upload into the gift generator are okay. Okay, but there might be some things that you need to edit. So let me demonstrate that. Okay. Okay. So first of all, if you're using all of the questions in a set, probably the best way to check them is to just take the quiz yourself, make sure that all of the answers are correct. Okay, and you can look at each of the questions as you see them. Okay, as I mentioned in my last video, though, if you want to make changes to some of the formatting of the questions, you're going to have to do it one by one. So going to edit the question. Okay, and so for example, like let's say I wanted to make this bold to call their attention to it, and on the screen that we saw, this was on the second line, but it might not be on a smaller screen. So if I click on that, then that will make sure that it is on the second line. Okay, it's not on the same line. Okay. And then also, if again, as I mentioned in the previous video, if you want to change the way it's numbered, you can go here and click on no numbering, and that will do that. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you save all the changes. Okay, and so nothing's there. Okay. If you're using short answers, okay, and especially if you're using short answers with punctuation, then you're going to have to be careful for two things. Okay, so for example, if you have a sentence, students might forget to put in the final punctuation. They might forget the question mark or forget the period, but if you wanted to give them credit, even though they forgot that punctuation, you would have to create an alternative, right? So you'd have to blanks for 3 more choices. Okay, and you scroll down to choice 5, and you would add the alternative answer here. You'd make sure that this was 100% and then also go down here to save changes. Okay, and another thing that is important to remember, this is a problem that we ran into quite often when we used punctuation, especially with apostrophes. If I'm using an English input keyboard, the apostrophe looks like that. But if I change it to a Japanese input, it becomes like that, and it's different. And if students use this one and you've used this one, the LMS will mark it as wrong. Okay, so you need to add that to your acceptable alternative answers. Okay. All right. And I think that is it for checking. All right, so we're going to save that. Okay, one final thing to do is, okay, this is in class B's course, okay, but you are going to probably have to put it in the other classes, okay, and so that means you could use the gift format that we used for this quiz here or assignment, but I have found that if we go to the question bank, okay, and we're going to go to the categories, okay, and we're going to choose this one, okay, and we're going to export it, okay, and I'm going to export it as a Moodle XML format. Okay. Why? I have found that it will keep the formatting that I've already put into the quiz, and so I don't have to do it again. And so this makes it a little bit easier. Okay. The rest is fairly straightforward. You're going to export to file. Okay, and you're going to save it someplace, right? And you might want to change the name here, but all you have to do is save it. Okay. And then when you go to import it in the other course, instead of choosing the gift format, you're going to choose the Moodle XML format. Okay. And that's it. I hope that these videos will help you. All right.